Welcome to my very first Shameless Season 10 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important, if you are caught up to the point where I am at rewatching or watching Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you found out that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And for all of you out there that are wondering, I have seen Shameless all the way through at least one time. There are some episodes that I've seen more than others, and for the most part, this is a really awesome show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Definitely top 15, possibly top 10. I haven't decided. Once I finish rewatching it, I'll know where to put it. And again, I like the show a lot. I think it has at least 7 really solid seasons, and Season 8 is really good. Season 9 is okay to good, and then we're at the dreaded Season 10 and 11, which I did not like upon first viewing, but maybe, just maybe, my opinion will change. Now, if you've seen every single episode of Shameless, and you want to hear my series finale rant video, click right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video. That'll be the end screen. It'll have my thoughts on the finale after I first saw it live. So with all that said, this will be Shameless, Season 10, Episode 1. The title of this episode is called We Few, We Lucky Few, We Band of Gallaghers. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So, someone's phone is ringing and it's Fiona calling. I miss Fiona already. Lips fucking Tammy, and a pregnant Tammy decides to get on top because she's really wet and it slipped out again. Debbie, with a larger room now, hears them and says, "Really?" and starts picking up all the clothes that are scattered all over the floor. And then Debbie complains about the clothes. Is it really that hard to put them down the chute? Debbie puts everything down the chute, which lands on Frank, who's crashed at the bottom of where the chute is during the night. So that's like his designated spot to sleep in. Or maybe it's just a random spot where he passes out at. Who knows? And then Debbie comes downstairs, and Frank has his head, and he's washing his hair in the sink. And she says, "Get your head out of the sink, and where's your pants?" As Frank's in his tidy whities, and Liam's being Frederick Douglass today, so he's got like a Frederick Douglass hair thing on, and Debbie says she's not Fiona and she won't be doing everybody's laundry. And then there's talk of visiting Ian. Frank eats food that Liam didn't want out of the trash. Carl's told to get his ass up. He's been locked up in military lockup. He's graduating today, and Carl gets hosed to kind of clean him off. And Liam comes to V and Kev's. V's making Liam a slave breakfast. And then Kev talks about V and Liam studying in their being black class. Kev's going to the park to shoot some hoops. Frank's mad he can't get any Fiona money. Debbie talks about savings, and Frank doesn't like savings. And Debbie tells Frank, "We're getting a new couch, and it's coming out of your share since you lived on the couch for roughly 6 months." During the basketball thing, nobody's passing the ball to Kev. And then when finally someone does pass the ball to Kev, he shoots. It looks good off the wrists, but it's an air ball. Frank talks to Gloria, the mail woman, all stuff for Fiona. Frank goes out with a brace on and a walker, but he's fine. He's trying to fake an injury to get more pain medicine. Debbie with Franny goes to a storage unit. Debbie's got a system. She has a bunch of nice clothes in this storage unit. Franny says you should wear Victoria's Secrets. That's, I think, the first time we've heard Franny talk. Maybe not, though. Liam goes to see Todd. He tells Todd most people aren't as ignorant as you. Todd doesn't like the way that Liam's dressing. Lip's complaining to Brad about too much sex from Tammy. And Brad says Cammy's making a list of things that Lip and Tammy need before the baby comes. Frank goes to the doctor, same doc, Dr. Tyson from last season. Frank says he needs more oxy, and he tells Frank that he's healed. Todd walks on the opposite side of the street as Liam, and then Liam gets jumped by a bunch of other African-American kids. I believe it was a bunch of African-American kids, but I could be wrong on that now that I think about it. I'm right, though, but correct me if I'm wrong, please. Kev vents to V about being the old guy playing basketball. And Kev blames his lack of skills on the court on his shoes. I don't know why my ears itching all of a sudden. The new ones he wants cost $350, and V's like, nah, you ain't paying that. And V calls Kev, he's Bernie Sanders old. And Kev tells V he's going to earn his own money and buy these shoes. And then Gallagher is called a disgrace while graduating. Kelly's there to cheer him on. Frank goes to the pharmacy. Frank bumps into an old lady and steals her pain meds. And then Frank runs away and trips over Mikey, who we saw in the Hobo Loco games, I should say, over Mikey's wheelchair. And Mikey's actually missing his legs now. And then the old lady gets a cop's attention and points to Frank. And then Frank goes running. And then Mikey stands up, showing that his legs are just fine, and follows him. And then Debbie complains to Farr about the family. Kelly tells Carl she's so proud of him. She didn't tell the family Carl didn't tell the family that he was graduating. And then Carl helped someone that wanted to be trans, but he wasn't talking about transferring. He wanted to be transsexual, and Carl didn't know that. He thought he was transferring. Kev goes back to the gay bar to dance so he can make some money for those new expensive shoes that he wants, and they give him a tryout. Tammy wears a gas mask while coloring people's hair, and then Tammy starts to go into labor. Frank and Mikey catch up. Frank talks about his oldest daughter running off. He complains about Debbie. Frank's working on a scheme with Mickey. Has Mickey pull the fire alarm of this furniture place. He's a couple of seats. He takes a couple seats for his couch cushions, 2 different sets, and Mikey helps carry one of the sets out. Kelly tells Carl that she has bad news. Kelly has to leave for freshman officer training. She wants to have a summer's worth of sex and a bunch of condoms he'll have to use in the next 32 hours. So they got to do that, and she's got to go soon, so 32 hours. Liam tells V about the beatdown from some of our less woke black brothers. Kev makes a drink to boost his testosterone, and then Kev starts beating his head on the wall, and Liam says he wants some of that. Kelly and Carl fuck in a public bathroom stall. Debbie talks to Farr about kind of missing the little dick card, referring to Carl. A nurse asks Lip if he's here with Tammy, and then Lips rush to Tammy's room. He is told to sign something. Tammy has to have an emergency C-section. Kev's going to dance at the club on Daddy Night. Carl and Kelly fucking Kelly's Dykemobile, as Debbie put it in season 9. And then Carl thinks the condom broke. So Carl has to drive to the drugstore. And Kelly's hunched over in this position, keeping everything, standing up essentially, so things fall out. And Frank and Mikey do a couple of lines. And Frank and Mikey got pretty good couch cushions. And the baby is born, and it's a boy. Lip tells Tammy it's a boy. Carl and Kelly go to the drugstore. Tammy goes into shock or stops. Something's going wrong. She's having complications from the emergency C-section. And now it's Captain Crush's turn to dance at the club on Daddy Night. Debbie's mad that Frank left his drugs out on the table for Franny to find. Debbie wants to know who Mikey is. V's watching Franny tonight. Debbie puts on a nice burgundy dress. Lip tells the family it's a boy, and Tammy had some complications. Kelly wants to have sex on the roof and in the shower, and then Carl finds out Tammy had the baby, so he kind of has to postpone all that fun, but she still comes with him. Kev made lots of money during his dancing. In fact, enough money to buy his expensive shoes. Debbie's at a fancy place with her burgundy dress on. Lip gets to hold his baby. Everyone comes to see the baby, even Frank and Mikey. So everybody's there, except for Fiona, of course. And then V tells Lip it'll be okay. And then Debbie gets a call and kind of excuses herself. I'm guessing it was Fiona saying it's a boy, and Ian doesn't know yet. And then Kev plays hoops with his new shows. Goes for a dunk, or maybe it was a layup, and a complete brick. And then Kevin looks down at his shoes in disappointment. And that's what ends this episode in Shameless. So far, not very good. I mean, it's better than some shows, mediocre efforts, but you can clearly see, some characters, they just give stupid material to do, like Kevin B in this episode. and I didn't like it that much, but that's just me. Hopefully it improves, but I don't think it will. I'm going to score it a 7.5 out of 10, and my characters of the episode are going to be Frank and Debbie. Debbie was pretty good, and I'm giving it to Frank over Lip just because we had more of Frank doing Frank things and Lip. And I mean, he was just there to, hold the baby essentially. But Lip would probably, you could argue for Lip over Frank, but that's just my opinion. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Shameless and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button. Otherwise, I'm going to send Frank Gallagher your way, and you're never going to recover from that. And keep in mind, I cover a lot of stuff on this channel. I'm sure there's something else that you like. Just go to my playlist. I cover The Walking Dead, Dexter, Big Bang Theory, Shameless, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones stuff, UFC fight reactions, end of the year movie rankings, franchise ranking videos. If there's any suggestions that you have, please leave those in the comment section. Watch my other videos. Let me know that you're watching them. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Shameless. What would you rate the episode as? I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Who would be your male? Who would be your female character of the episode? Or if you just want to do one, that's fine as well. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDevTV.